the always entertaining, fired up, and fiery Lyle Barnett, the Elite Performance Camaro out of the Modern Racing Camp. Justin Elks, the crew chief of this car, is the only car in the field with twin-turbo power for Lyle Barnett. And Jose, can you see on the right side of the racetrack? That is the O'Reilly lane for multi-time world champion Jose Gonzalez, wearing the number 1 on the window of the Q80 Racing, Proline Racing Camaro. Ran into Steve Petty last night at the rental car center, both of us having experienced the wonders of modern air travel these days. But Petty had been off for like 5 weeks, and I'm not sure Steve Petty has gone a 5-week stretch without being at a drag strip since like the 81 Winter Nationals or something. The guy's hardcore.
It has been a minute since we've seen our Pro Mod racers. Norwalk, we went out on the swing, they stayed back, but they're going to be with us for a while now, and they're going to be very busy in the next several weeks.
For Lyle Barnett, the only turbo car on the property, but when we get to Sunday, I like his chances. The hotter this racetrack gets and the greasier it gets, the more finely and the more gently you can tune that turbo car. It still makes all the power, but the reality is you can manage that power much differently than you can even in a centrifugal or roots or a screw car, especially in a nitrous car. So I do like the idea of them being able to manipulate the power to get this car down the racetrack, and I certainly like the idea of Lyle being able to lay down a ridiculous reaction time when he needs to.
Yeah, he can get off the starting line, and I just love Lyle's personality. He gives people someone to root for. He's got great positive energy. The turbo, we build all these turbo fans, and then they're gone. Like, there's no turbo car, so he's the guy for the turbo fans to root for, and they've got a good one.
And then, of course, Jose Gonzalez. The guy is a class act and has been a class act his entire career. Great representative and a great kind of representative of the international nature of pro modified drag racing. He comes from the Dominican Republic. He travels to each race to race with his team. And big move at the top end of the racetrack for Gonzalez, and he hangs on to it. Boy, that thing got loose. And whoa! Barnett's across the racetrack, and Barnett has touched the wall, and he's touched the wall very, very gently with the rear quarter panel. That became a calamity at the big end of the racetrack. Barnett's got the door open. I mean, he barely scraped the paint of the nose, and I think he barely touched the rear quarter panel. Gonzalez goes down the racetrack, a 585.5 at 237, puts him second. And Joe, what caught my eye was parachutes are coming on. That thing was making that dead right, and then all of a sudden Barnett got across the racetrack.
A lot going on that run, Brian, and Jose Gonzalez was making a great pass, the 585, and then in the lights it just made a huge move. And after that all happened, then Lyle had his own issues. I'm hoping we'll be able to get a replay.
We noticed there are no parachutes out the back of Barnett's car. Everybody's out. Let's watch again on NHRA.tv. We can see again, the run itself was fairly uneventful. Gonzalez's run was very clean. Barnett's car was sluggish, very, very sluggish out the starting line. He only went across at 175 miles an hour, but there's the move for Gonzalez. Dirt tracking the car, gets the parachutes out. That's fairly tame. Now you're going to watch Barnett go across the finish line of the racetrack. See the heat waves coming out of the exhaust. No parachutes, and that car made an immediate move to the right. Now this is a great job of driving. He barely crunches the wing. It's going to barely scrape the concrete of the nose. To me, that's still a raceable car. I mean, we don't know. They'll go back and look at it, but to me, that's still a raceable car.
Oh, I agree. And Lyle, with all his experience over the years, that had to just come out of nowhere. He was going straight. Next thing you know, he's going right at the wall, and he pulled it back and saved it, and my goodness.
That was something. And again, the way that thing was heading into the wall, it looked like it was going to be a full-on nose job, and it basically scraped it, not even got the whole one, but it got half the headlight decal out of the passenger side.
So they're going to have some work tonight. I don't see them just putting it away.
And look, the nose is going to come off the car here, and if it comes off in one piece, I mean, it doesn't even appear to be broken. It's scraped, but you're going to watch this nose come off, and it's not all flopping around in a bunch of pieces. It's an intact unit.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to need a wheelie bar.
They got front tires have obviously gone flat, and that's certainly a consequence of the thing skidding across the racetrack as we saw it do.
The adrenaline going through Lyle right now, it's got to be through the roof.
And again, we're getting this from a long camera shot, the same one you're getting on the Sunoco Vision, but from looking at it with a jeweler's glass in my eye, it doesn't look visually like there's anything wrong with the front end, but they'll go back and certainly make sure and check everything for straightness.